Welcome to the 2021 Organizations Awards Night. The last time I was in here, I think I was with the 8th grade parents, and they were here at 10 past the hour for a start time at, 6:30. You guys are a lot more chill, I gotta say. I kind of enjoy this group. Kind of coming in now, and so I'm gonna start on time, sort of. And as you come in, just take a seat. Kids down here, parents out back. So this night is all about celebrating the students you see before you. I realized last year as a new principal that there was this group of students who compete for BHS, who represent BHS to the community and the wider world, and we never bring you together to celebrate you or honor you. And you deserve to be celebrated and honored in front of one another also as an entire group. So this new Organizations Awards Night is just for you. There's 13 organizations here at BHS that do either compete for or represent us somewhere. Not all of them are here tonight because this year, not all of them had their usual competition season or performance season, or they just didn't have a typical year, as you understand. The students in these organizations represent us to the world, and like their counterparts on athletic teams, you deserve a night of your own. So those of you in the audience, listen closely when the advisors talk about what these organizations accomplished this year, and then cheer and applaud the students who are recognized for their individual accomplishments and receive awards. And to be clear, like athletic awards nights, not every student in the audience will cross the stage. Some organizations have all their members here in support of one another. Some don't because this year we just couldn't fit everyone in the theater. So whether you're on stage tonight or not, it's important that you're here to support your peers and be a supportive community to each other. You all do great things here at BHS and for BHS, and I want to thank you all for that. And next year, when we're at this event, I hope to have an academic and organization awards trophy case right outside the theater, so as you come into this place, we can display all the things you win, because you win a lot and we don't display them, and we need to. So now, please welcome Mrs. Noe, who will MC for the evening. Thank you.
Good evening. So I'm going to explain and talk about each of the different organizations that will be represented at our now annual event. So those teams and organizations are the debate team, Deca, DI, which is Destination Imagination, First Robotics, our math team, Model UN, Music, which is band and chorus, National History Day, Unleashed, our student newspaper, Science Olympiad, TSA, which is the Technical Student Association, Theater, and Yearbook. And the way this annual event will run is we'll have some of the major awards and awards seniors up on the stage, and some of our organizations will go into breakout rooms to take their students and the parents for different awards that they give out for the whole organization, freshman through junior and senior. And so tonight, we're going to start off with DI, Destination Imagination, with Miss Russell.
Good evening. DI is also known as Destination Imagination. What is Destination Imagination? It is the world's largest creative problem-solving organization. It is an extracurricular that fosters creativity, team-based problem-solving, and life skills for students in kindergarten all the way through college. The goal of Destination Imagination is to cultivate the creative problem-solving process and make it part of a student's everyday life. Teams work together to solve open-ended challenges using their imaginations and creative problem-solving tools. Teams of up to 7 students prepare and participate in both a team challenge and an instant challenge at a regional competition in March. The solution to the team challenge is developed over a 3 to 6 month period, which means we usually start in early fall. The team designs and creates, without adult assistance, all props, costumes, and other artistic and/or technical elements necessary to bring the presentation to life. As with many of our organizations and clubs, this past year offered up even more challenges. But in DI, we did what we do best. problem solve. This high school team, although busy just being seniors, rose to the challenge. This team not only participated in the New Hampshire affiliate tournament, they placed first in the state, and this was not the first time as state champions either. Placing first and sometimes second affords teams the opportunity to attend global finals in Kansas City, Missouri. This high school team have indeed traveled to global finals twice, but were invited a total of 5 times. Please give it up for Abby Gorette, Carly Blaine, Taylor Souza, and Owen Beckert, also known as the Sit-Down Comedians. Come on up, guys. Abby has done DI for 8 years, Taylor 9 years, and both Carly and Owen 10 years. When I asked them how they will remember their years together and what they will take with them from DI, I heard those infamous DI words: teamwork, problem solving, collaboration, quick thinking skills, and most importantly, friendship. Come on over. Since we did have a virtual tournament this year, you were unable to receive your pins in person at the tournament, but DI so kindly sent them to me. I also have your New Hampshire DI Senior Send-Off Kit that includes your very special Destination Imagination tassel for 2021. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Mrs. Russell. Next this evening, we'll have First Robotics with Mr. Fowler as the advisor.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Zach Fowler. I'm the high school engineering teacher and robotics coach. So as the advisor of Bedford High School's first robotics team, I've had the opportunity to work with many great groups of students. However, this particular group of graduating seniors has always gone above and beyond for their team. Some accomplishments of this group include leading our team during the past 2 years as we coped with COVID-19 restrictions, designing, building, and programming 4 of our most technologically advanced robots ever, learning and practicing business skills in order to provide fundraising efforts to the team, working with younger students to encourage them to pursue STEM activities, working at local food pantries, and hosting events for 40 other robotics teams here at Bedford High School. This group was also instrumental in qualifying for our first World Championship attendance in 2019. It is with great pleasure and thanks that I present these first honors stoles to the following students. Emily O'Brien. Sam Spencer. Samantha Lopez. Will Janelle. Colin McGinty. And Thomas Crowther. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fowler. Congratulations. Next, we will have Mrs. Hazelton, who is the advisor for our math team. And just a little note, because I don't know if she would mention this to you, she's actually extremely good at quilting and sewing, and she made these herself.
Good evening. My name is Mrs. Hazelton, and I'm the advisor of the math team. You might wonder what a math team is and does. Well, the math team is an organization made up of students who compete in various math competitions. Each year we compete in the Mathematics Association Southern New Hampshire League, the State of New Hampshire Math Competition, and the American Mathematics Competition. This year, we added a Harvard-MIT math competition to the list. I know some of you are probably wondering who would voluntarily join a math team. Well, one of the requirements for being on a math team is that you enjoy solving math problems, or at least appreciate them. My students are among the best and brightest math students in the state. They love a challenge. The bigger, the better. They aren't afraid to take intellectual risks, and they don't look at getting the wrong answer or no answer as failure or defeat, but rather as an opportunity to learn. I feel very lucky to be able to work with these students, and sometimes I'm lucky enough to be able to work with them for multiple years. This year, seniors who are active members of the math team and have been active members for at least 2 consecutive years will receive an award for their dedication to mathematics and learning. The first student came to us last year, and she's incredibly positive and bright. That's Alexandra Hodson. Are you here? The second student has been with us since she was a freshman. She's the heart of the team. She willingly takes younger team members under her wing and shows them the ropes. Nydia Upadrasta. Are you here? Apparently they don't like award ceremonies. And the last student, if I had a word to describe him, I would say that he's a really deep thinker. James Westbrook, are you here? No? Okay, I mentioned earlier that each year we participate in the American Mathematics Competition. This competition is for the very best math students all over the country. Students who score in the top 5% of the exam takers are invited to take a special exam called the American Invitational Mathematics Exam. Since Bedford High School has been in existence, there had only been one student who had qualified to take the exam. This year, we had our second. This student is one of the most talented mathematicians I've ever had the pleasure to work with, and he's lucky to be talented in many academic areas besides mathematics, and he's also one of the finest human beings I know. And he happens to be the president of the math team. So Abhinav, if you're here.
Thank you, Mrs. Hazelton. Next for this evening, we'll have Model UN, and the advisors are Mrs. Corbin and Mrs. Dudgeon.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Corbin. I'm Lisa Dudgeon, and we are the co-advisors for Model UN. So we are going to take it back to the fall of 2019, where we had a promising start in the fall at our first conference of the year, Phillips Exeter Academy Model UN Conference. And then, with everything happening in the spring of 2020, our spring season, which is our busiest conference season, ended up being canceled. So we had no conferences in the spring of 2020. So for this school year, we had to rise to some different challenges for our club. For most of the year, we had to meet online through Google Meet, and we used breakout rooms so that we could conduct simulations in-house with our club. And finally, when we got back to being in person at the end of March, we were able to start in-person meetings again.
So our organization participated in 2 conferences this year, although they were virtual. We attended the March conference of Boston College called Eagle Monk. We attend that every year, usually in person. And we also attended Dartmouth, which is held by Dartmouth University. This was the first time we've been back to Dartmouth since these seniors' freshman year. We also 2 weeks ago held our annual in-house conference called Bulldog Mun, in which we focused on the Arctic Council, and we had current members and former members and potential members come, and it was just a rousing success, and it was all due to leadership of our organization. Before we call up our seniors, we'd like to maybe mention just a few highlights from these students' junior and senior years with MUN. The first person is Olivia Archard, who received an honorable mention at Phillips Exeter Academy's PMUN conference in the fall of 2019.
Next, we'd like to mention Sam Como. He received Outstanding Delegate at PMUN, Honorable Delegate at Brown University's Simulation of the UN, and Outstanding Delegate at Dartmouth.
Next, we have Mitchell Soderberg, who received a verbal commendation at PMUN in 2019.
And finally, we have James Trent, who received Outstanding Delegate at PMUN and Best Delegate at Metro West MUN in 2020.
We're now going to move on to handing out the actual honorifics, but there's a caveat. We have cords for all of our participating seniors. So any of our seniors who are here or not here will receive a cord to wear at graduation. There's that caveat, though, is that we don't actually have our own cords. They are in transit. So if you receive a cord this evening, you'll need to come see us to get your real cord. We also have stoles to recognize our seniors who are members of the executive board. And the executive board, these students really work hard. They run all the simulations in-house. They do a lot of research. They develop background guides and just really are the life force of our organization, so we honor them in a special way.
So now we'd like to present our awards. So seniors, when you hear your name, please come up. Kayla Gerard.
Elisa Shaw.
James Trent.
Olivia Archard.
Olivia is a member of our executive board. Sam Como, executive board.
And lastly, we have Mitchell Soderberg, executive board.
Congratulations, seniors.
Thank you, Mrs. Corbin and Mrs. Dudgeon. Next this evening, we'll have music, which represents band and chorus, and it is Ms. Gaudette and Ms. Heron.
Good evening. We are here to present awards for the music department. I'm Kelsey Gaudette, the band director, and this is Sarah Heron, the choir director. Before we start with the awards, we'd like to thank all the students for their perseverance and unwavering spirit throughout the last year and a half. Thanks to them, we continue to accomplish our performance goals. We got to perform at football games, made virtual performances, and are very excited to have our first concert since 2019 on June 7th. And parents, thank you so much for all you do to get your students to rehearsals, for volunteering, and for supporting your child through music. Will all of the senior band and choir members start to come up and line up on stage? We have some medals for you. Yeah, spread out and make 2 rows maybe. So I'll start reading some of our senior names. We have Abby Nover, Alex Sullivan, Amira Ziada, Aiden Haig, Bridget O'Leary, Kaylee Figler, Chelsea Girali, Daria Bazarova, Emily O'Brien, Gitika Gadavarti, Heather Johnson, James Trent, Jason Merck, Julia Strimling.
We have Justin White, Leah Berman, Lorelai Mannon, Matthew Hassan, Megan Hayden, Megan McDonald, Paige Adams, Reagan Rick, Reese Lossman, Stephen Lussier, William Janelle, Ananya Rao, Katie Turner, and Josh Ledoux. Congratulations, guys. there are a lot of them. Would you help me find more people so we don't have to we have class at the same time. Everyone? Yeah. Yay!
Congratulations to our senior band and choir members. Yeah. You can go. Okay. So we have a few special senior awards that we're going to present on stage tonight, and the rest of our awards will be in the Commons later. So the MVP award. As a tradition that Miss Heinrich started at marching band practice, we like to recognize students for being an all-around role model and hard worker. We're always watching to see who's giving it their all, helping others and following instructions with a great attitude. We have many MVPs in band. This student, however, sticks out to us above the rest as a player, marcher, performer, student, and as a person. This year's MVP award goes to Will Janelle. The next award is the Band Directors Award. The Directors Award goes to a dedicated student who participates in band, not just as a student, but someone who embodies the vision of the program and who cares about the bigger picture. This student is always very present at a multitude of band events and activities and likes to inspire others. The band is better because of students like him. The Directors Award goes to Alex Sullivan.
The next award I'm going to present is the Choral Directors Award. This year's Choral Directors Award goes to a member of the senior class who has been an amazing asset to the choir for the 2 years that I've known her. She is extremely organized and dedicated to the choir program. I could tell from the minute that I heard her sing in the first warm-up that she was going to be one of my leaders in class. Her attention to detail and willingness to constantly improve is so inspiring. She is kind, supportive of her friends, always brings such a positive light and energy to rehearsal, and is one of the first people at BHS to make me feel truly welcome. I'm truly going to miss her, and I'm so proud to present her with the Director's Award. And this year's award goes to Katie Turner. The National School Choral Award is the highest honor for high school choral performers. It recognizes the student's dedication and musical achievement. This year's National School Choral Award goes to someone who seemed very shy last year, who has blossomed into a true leader in choir, chamber, and a cappella group. He is a senior who made it into All-State on bass voice this year, who then went on to be chosen as one of our 3 students selected for the All-Eastern Festival. I could not have been happier to have Josh Ledoux represent the BHS choir at the state level and the Eastern Coast level as well. He is kind, sings with passion, always knows his parts, never misses a rehearsal, and is all around an amazing person. I'm beyond proud to present Josh with the National School Choral Award.
Okay, the John Philip Souza Award is the pinnacle of achievement in high school band. To honor the top student in high school band, the John Philip Souza Band Award recognizes superior musicianship and outstanding dedication. This student has always displayed a high level of musicianship through all-state auditions, concert band, jazz band, and even pep band. His playing and achievement inspires others to reach new levels of musical excellence. This student also earned the very top score in the state on his instrument for New Hampshire All-State. The John Philip Souza Award goes to Reese Lossman. Okay, and our last award on stage this evening, the Louis Armstrong Award, honors the outstanding jazz musician at each high school. From their first year in jazz band, this student has always impressed me with their level of musicianship and style. He's a natural in the jazz genre and has displayed his talent in many solos, performances, and most recently, this year's Battle of the Bands. This year's Louis Armstrong Award goes to Jason Merck. Thank you, and we hope to see our families after in the Commons for our ice cream social.
Thank you, Ms. Gaudette and Ms. Herron. Next, we have Science Olympiad, and the advisors are Mrs. Bainey and Mrs. Nutting, with Mrs. Nutting presenting this evening.
Good evening. Science Olympiad functions much like a sports team, requiring preparation, commitment, and practice throughout the year. Science Olympiad competitions are like STEM academic track meets, consisting of a series of 23 team events reflecting the ever-changing nature of genetics, earth science, chemistry, anatomy, physics, geology, mechanical engineering, and technology. This year, we competed at 3 virtual tournaments, earning multiple event placements and overall runner-up at states. Over the past 4 years, Angelica Pooley has encouraged teamwork that has forged alliances between our 2 BHS teams. She's been a role model, always helping and guiding her teammates in other events while maintaining enthusiasm and dedication to her own events. She has shown great dedication to her build events over the years, including a mousetrap vehicle, balsa wood airplanes, and ping pong parachutes. Therefore, it's with great pleasure that Ms. Bainey and I present this year's Science Olympiad Award to Angelina Pooley.
Thank you, Mrs. Nutting. Next, we'll have yearbook with our advisor, Mrs. Gilchrist.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Building a yearbook is no small task in a high school of 1,500 students. Students learn how to run a small business from balancing a budget, creating and marketing a product, graphic design, production, distribution, and customer service. It's a year-round commitment that requires dedication and grit. These young women have committed themselves to the yearbook since their freshman year at Bedford High School. They've spent countless hours creating a product for not only the high school, but as a historical document for the entire community. Congratulations to Mia Marchand and Leah Berman.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilchrist. Next, we'll have Deca. The advisors are Mrs. Wozowski and Ms. Doyle, with Mrs. Wozowski presenting.
So we all know this year was a challenge for everything, and Deca was no exception. But this year was also incredibly eventful and exciting, with some firsts for BHS. With over 50 members, all our meetings were virtual, and competition obviously was virtual as well. As a business club, we were not only preparing our students for business terminology, how to excel at role plays, how to do well at competition, but we also needed to work on being an effective presenter on video, which is no small feat. So while it was tough, students learned skills that are becoming and will become more and more common in today's and tomorrow's business world. And I'm so proud of these students for sticking it out and learning to compete this year. We had 45 students who competed virtually at the state competition, and we had 36 students who placed in the top 3 in their event, which made them eligible to compete at the International Career Development Conference, which happened in April. So I'm proud to present an honor cord to those seniors who placed at the top 3 in our conference this year. And I will also present separate awards for our officers. Nathan Campbell, he's here. Woo! Garrett Redmond. Avery Manny. Two other seniors who couldn't join us tonight, Kristen Wangye also was a state winner and also an ICDC place eligible, to compete at ICDC, and Nitya Abtrasta, who's one of our officers who also could not be here tonight. I also wanted to present our officers who not only worked so hard this year in a virtual setting, but also were finishers and at the state conference and were eligible to compete at ICDC. Gray Theodore. Gray also served as a state officer for 2 years, so he was incredibly valuable to the Deca family. Scott Anderson, who is our VP of Finance. And Cam Clymer, who is our president and served as an officer for 2 years. Cam led the club in a really difficult year. Thank you, Cam. And finally, we have one more person that I wanted to recognize specially, but first I'll have him come up to the stage first, Emmett Baker. So, I could not be more excited to announce that Emmett Baker was not only a top 10 finisher and a finalist twice at ICDC, but this year, he also earned the number 3 spot at ICDC, placing the 3rd in his event, which is a very first at Bedford High School. We've never had a top 3 finisher ever. And to give you an idea of what that is like, there's typically about 18,000 students who compete at these events. To be a finalist in his first year competing and to make it to the top 3 is absolutely exciting. And my only regret this year is that Emmett couldn't receive the medals that I'm about to give him in front of 18,000 of his peers. He also would have gotten this beautiful glass trophy, which I would present, but it hasn't arrived from mail yet. Honestly, I feel like I'm back in high school running to the mailbox every day waiting for those college acceptance letters, except I'm waiting for the glass trophy. Anyway, so I have 2 medals for Emmett. Emmett was also one of our officers this year. This is a finalist medal and a medal for the top 10. So I know that you guys won't sound like 18,000 students, but if you could give it up and try and make it as close to 18,000 for Emmett as you can. Congratulations, Emmett, for your accomplishment.
Thank you.
Thank you for an amazing year. I love this club so much. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Wloszewski. So just a reminder, our math team will be going to 113 for a breakout room, and band and chorus will be going to the Commons for a breakout room. And I'm going to invite Mr. Jazokis out now for closing remarks.
Thank you, Mrs. Noe, and thank you to the students and the advisors. It's nights like this that make me a very proud principal, to watch the students who come up on the stage and to listen to the things you do and accomplish. It just warms my heart and makes me a proud, proud person to just be among you all. All right, let's congratulate the students who we saw on stage tonight and all the students for continuing their participation in these organizations, even during a pandemic. They deserve our admiration. Please give them a hand.